Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you have made it to the safe space. Yes, this is the space for all thoughts. No one's judged. We just put it out there real time all day. Now, first of all, let me tell y'all, this show is brought to you by 52s and Smoke Entertainment. Please check us out at 52s and Smoke on Instagram. You can check our YouTube page. You can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, any bootleg app you got to get all the podcasts, we there. Okay, so look us out. Also, be on the lookout for the new podcast coming soon called Made with Real. It features your boy along with some familiar faces, LaSalle and T Money. Holla at us. You're going to hear things about it on Instagram all over the place when you see it. Check us out. Made with Real coming soon. But today I got a real special episode of The Safe Space. It's my birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, everybody clap. Come on. Somebody that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
It's my birthday, too.
It's also my nephew's birthday, so you know I'm sitting down with some of my closest loved ones, and we're going to talk about the things going on in the world today. So, first of all, I'm going to introduce the birthday boy, the other birthday boy, because my nephew's birthday on my day. So, once again, Uncle Ock coming to you. Let him know who you is, man.
Oh, yeah, it's the birthday twin, Kyrie. He's doing it well. He's doing it swell. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
It's Naya. Hey guys, it's Nadira.
It's your boy King Bushy Brows.
King
man.
Bush.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, y'all, how y'all living? Y'all living good, living luxurious, living lavish? Okay, I see y'all.
Who are you, though?
It's J2 Lit. You already know.
All right.
Yo, it's Hamza coming from all the way from Minnesota. Nice to see y'all.
Yes. Special guest. My nephew comes and came down. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. I'm glad you're here, and that's why we doing this. So, all right, we're going to get into it, man. How y'all feeling? Everybody, I know you
Feeling
tired,
great.
just got off of work.
As always.
You feeling good. You know what I'm saying?
Feeling
I'm
blessed.
feeling amazing. How you feel?
Hey, I'm feeling blessed too.
Yeah. Blessed. I guess that's the best word to put it. Unfortunately, man, there's some stuff going on in the world. I'm curious to hear what the youth is thinking about. How y'all think about or feel about some of these things going on right now. Have you heard about the guy who was picking up trash outside of his job, a.k.a. his house, and the cops pulled up on him and detained him for a while, like harassed him, this black dude? Y'all know the story?
I actually did see that on Facebook, and it was like a 16-minute video of him just sitting out there waiting for them to leave him alone because
Right.
he literally wasn't doing nothing but outside his crib.
Right.
On his own field.
Yeah. Do y'all know the situation? Let me tell you the situation.
Oh yeah, I never heard it.
All right, so let me tell you. So it's in Colorado, somewhere in Colorado Springs or something like that. I don't know, whatever. So black dude, right? He's outside picking up trash. He's picking up trash. He has the bucket and he has the picker, right? So he's picking up trash, putting it in the bucket. The house he's outside of is actually a student housing, okay? So it's at a college. I think it was Barter. I don't know. Don't let me say the wrong thing. Whatever college is it at, he lives on this campus at this student housing. There was a private property sign. He's behind the private property sign, sitting down, chilling. He got the stuff in his hand. Guess he's taking a break or whatever. Cops pull up. Hey, do you belong here? Why are you here? He ain't doing nothing, but they just, somebody on patrol pull up and ask him that, right? Dude shows them identification, his student card. Okay, I go to school here, and I live in this dorm right here, and I work for the school while I'm going to school, and my job is to pick up trash. Problem over. No, cops stay there. Cops call for backup. Cops won't leave. Cops is telling him he got a weapon, all of that, and this just goes on, like I said in the video, for like 10, 15 minutes until they decided to chill out and leave. The lady recording is like, he's doing his job. Why y'all got your guns drawn? Like they pulling the guns out for the man picking up trash, who just gave him ID, who just told him he lived here on campus at this school. You know what I'm saying? And this is the type of harassment that is happening to black people all over the place. I don't know why you would be surprised it's happening in Colorado, but this is what's happening. So this is the story that's floating around. What y'all think? Like, how does that make you feel? What do you think about the state that black people in general, because it's not just dudes, it's women too. It happened to black women, but just in general, the state of society as it relates to people of color and the police force.
It's honestly irritating, actually, to have that feeling of when we go outside and not even doing anything. It's irritating to have to be harassed like this. Honestly, even though we haven't did anything, I bet you 85% of the people that are in jail right now, or even just being detained at any point, haven't did anything. And that's the heartfelt part about African Americans living in this world. That wherever we go, we're still being watched, regardless of whatever color it is.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with, man.
It's
And
sad. My bad.
It just sucks because they don't even like try to like, you know, even if you do show ID, they don't try to, you know, go figure out, is he telling the truth? Like, you could have easily went to the school, walked in the school and said, is this man a part of the school? If you didn't believe him, you know, like they don't even take like those steps to try to figure out because they don't care.
Right.
They literally don't care. They're just doing it just to do it. And that's what sucks the most.
You know what? The part about it is that shouldn't even be happening in the first place. Once I showed you, first of all, I'm chilling.
And I'm at my school. You pulled up on me.
I'm chilling.
Like, I'm at my school.
Why do I even have to show you ID?
Exactly.
But you asked for it and you're a police officer. I show you my ID. Shouldn't the situation be over?
And that's the funny thing. Even when we cooperate, they still got to bug us. And I really feel like it's just because they bored.
Right.
They're so bored. And
It's
the only
not-
people they can pick on is us.
I don't even know if it's bored. I think it's racism.
I think they're intimidated.
Intimidated by what? He's picking up trash.
Not intimidated by the certain situation of the man picking up trash, but like Hamza said, he thinks that they do it because they're bored. I think they do it because they are intimidated and they know that black men are powerful and, you know, black people in general are powerful, especially when they come together. It
I see what
can
you're saying.
create, you know,
Yeah,
some type of intimidation for them.
But you know, police get paid on how much people they arrest.
that's true
I
too.
was about to
Oh,
say the
I did
same
not
thing.
know
They
that.
have quotas.
They got to meet that quota by
They
the
got
end of the month.
quotas. That's why they got.
did not
You never heard of
know
SWAT Day?
that.
SWAT Day and
I think it's Wednesday.
We were just
Wednesday
talking
is
about that
SWAT Day.
yesterday.
I was just telling you the other day, and like my wife was like, "Nah, they got a SWAT Day." I'm like, "Yeah," especially in DeKalb County, it's SWAT
Wow.
Day. It's Thursday over here. So in certain
Wow.
places, there's a day where the police know they're gonna go out in a larger force and touch more people, and then near the end of the month. That it also happens. The SWAT Day near the end of the month happens a little more crazy because you got cops out here trying to meet their quota. You know what I'm saying? I honestly have never fact checked the fact that they have a quota or not, but I believe it to be true. I would love to fact check it. If somebody know, hit us in the comments. I don't know, but I think it's true. And I definitely heard about the SWAT days for years, like since I was a teenager.
It's
Wow.
definitely true. It's definitely true because the prisons are run privately, so they need people in there to do the work that they're doing. The prisoners are doing. So if they don't have enough people, then their business can't run.
Exactly.
And they're run by having people work for them. So the officers, obviously, they have some type of incentive to go and get those people and meet their quotas so that the prisons can meet their quotas in whatever they're doing with those prisoners.
That's true. That's true. It's
I agree.
crazy. It's crazy that's how
It's
we
even
decide.
run,
You know what I'm
like-
saying? It's crazy that private companies have an influence on whether your crime is one that should incarcerate you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to that point, which makes no sense. Like you could do something, and if you take into account the entire situation, and it's not that serious, a level-headed person who is trying to abide by the law and only lock up criminals could make a call and say, you know what, that's not that shouldn't happen to this person, and let them go. You know what I'm saying? But because it has a money incentive behind it, because there's money in the jails and stuff like that, you're not going to get that human side of the law to look out for the person in their entire situation. How do you think that affects you guys on a day-to-day basis in the decisions that y'all make? Do you even think about that? Like, I don't know. I try to tell people, but I try to tell y'all that you need to watch your butt because it's happening out here. But do you think about it while you living your life on a day-to-day? Like walking, going to the store? Do you?
And you know what's crazy is that no, because one, you know, who wants to walk around living life scared, walking on eggshells? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think. I mean, I think there are people that live like that, people that have experienced prison, people that have experienced police brutality, all of that. I think they do. But I think normal, like regular people do not want to live life walking on eggshells. Like,
True.
so it's like, no.
True. Go ahead. I mean, I'm just thinking about when I was younger. When I was younger, I didn't want to live that way either. And my mom would try to tell me I need to worry about this and that. And I was like, listen, they're not going to get me.
Yeah.
Not that I was
yeah.
slick, I was smooth. I was just like, I'm not doing nothing out here. I'm chilling. And if I do something, nobody's gonna see me. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking stupid.
The
Okay.
feeling is scary. I mean, I don't like to have to go out and live like that, but I do tend to always watch my back when I'm driving because I got a car back when I was 17, so I've been driving for about 2 years almost. And even when I do, honestly, I always try to avoid the cops regardless. Whoever's in the car with me, I always make sure to tell me when 12 is around the corner where they at, so I can always go the other way or anything like that, because I used to always ride with youth in my car because I was just close with my high school friends. So I don't want anybody to have to ever get arrested or even experience no police brutality while they're under my care, because I don't want a parent to have to feel that.
And that's one of the
I do the
scariest things.
same thing, man. Same thing.
I didn't think about it till I got older. It was more of an annoyance to me when I was young, getting pulled over. I'm young, I'm getting pulled over. I'm more annoyed than thinking I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Rodney King already happened, all this stuff already happened, but it still didn't click in my brain that they could do the same thing to me at any time. So I'm still 19, 20 riding around. I don't care. I'm getting tickets. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? They just give me a ticket and I'm out. Nowadays, like, I want y'all to really, really know your life is on the line every time you get pulled over.
Yeah, I think like that all the time.
I think like that now,
Every
no
time you
matter
step
what.
out the
Whenever I
house.
think about y'all going somewhere, doing something, I'm thinking about that.
If anybody's ever in front of the cop, do you guys ever wash their hands to see where that gun is?
Yeah. First thing they do, they walk up with their hand on it already. Some of them have it already unclipped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch this now. Over the last couple of years, you know, as I matured, I pay attention to all of that. You walking up behind my car, I can see you in my passenger walking up slowly, and I'm looking at your hand on your hip back here. Most of the time it's on their left side. And you really can't see their arm. You only see their arm folded back, right? But now I know, okay, his hand is ready for his gun. I don't know if it's unclipped or not until they lean in. When you lean in and you look at them, I always take a peek down there, and I'm trying to see the clip over the gun. Did they unclip it already, or is it just there? You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of stuff that I get. It might have been going on when I was younger, but it's definitely going on now, and it makes me fearful for all y'all. And I'm like, it's a shame y'all got to walk around thinking this way, this young. Even maybe I should have been thinking that way, but you definitely have to, and you can't get away from it. So I don't know. Do y'all? Go ahead.
I just want to say something real fast because I feel like a lot of people, even me too, is like more scared because of like black men, probably because it happens more to black men, but this also includes black women as well, like black people in general, because this has happened multiple times to black women going to jail, dying, all of that because of like
Sandra
police
Bland.
brutality. Exactly.
All that stuff, man. It's sad. I hate to start this
Yeah.
off this way, but
It's
it's
so
a sad
sad.
situation. Like, I feel down. I didn't really want this to be a down podcast, but it's like, yo, this
that
is a
feeling,
crazy
though.
situation.
It's
And if
reality.
we don't talk about it, who is going to talk about it? You know what I'm saying? Somebody could listen to this who parents ain't talking to them about it and get something out of it, hopefully. I don't know. But I guess you don't got to worry about it when you riding the bus. When you on the Uber, you good because you in the Uber. Nah, I'm
Hey,
tripping.
don't trust them Ubers either.
Nah, I mean, sometimes. It was just one dude when I was getting an Uber home from work,
Yeah.
and he just looked weird. Like, he just looked like a serial killer, no cap. It was weird. He giving off a weird vibe. He kept looking back at me.
Right.
And it's kind of scary because it's like, I'm in this car. It's
He
like,
could just
he could
dip.
just turn
Just
around. He
turn.
could do, he
Bro.
got all the advantage.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
not gonna lie. That's why I wasn't on Uber. Like, Uber, I think I probably took an Uber once in my whole life. Well, maybe 2 or 3 times. But I'm talking about one weekend. That's when I went to Vegas, and we was out there. We ain't had no car. We ain't had no choice but the Uber, right? But that was the first time I took it ever, because the whole idea and the premise behind it is cool. It makes sense. It's moving technology forward and using the things at the tips of our fingers to make things better and easier. Cool. But the reality is, you get in the car with a stranger. A complete stranger. I don't even let my friends drive when we go somewhere. I drive everywhere. When I go to lunch with my coworkers, I drive. Not because I'm that dude, but I don't want to put my life in your hands.
Yeah.
We cool, but I don't really know you like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might do it with my family, because if my family kill me, like, I guess. But, you know what I'm saying? If I get in a car accident with my sister or something, it's like, dang, I guess it was meant to be. But for me to be riding with some stranger and die because they tripping, they had a bad day, or they don't know how to drive, or they don't know how to handle their business, I never was down with Uber or nothing like that. Crazy thing is, I'm thinking about being an Uber driver now, though. But, that's besides the point.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's a whole nother story. But I feel like that's dangerous too, man.
Yeah, because you don't know who's in the back seat
And it goes against everything that your parents taught you from when you were younger.
Right.
If somebody says, "Get in my car, I'm gonna take you to this place," or "I have something," you don't
And now
just
we
get in
all
a
hopping
car
in the
with
car.
a stranger.
Right.
You
That's
don't know
exactly
this
what we're
person.
doing.
Willingly,
And Ubers
everyone.
and Lyft, they don't do background checks. They don't do criminal
Yes, they
records.
do.
No, they don't.
They do
Yes,
background
they do.
checks.
You have-
They
most of the
background
time-
checks and insurance. You have to have both of those if you want
Most
to
of
be
the
a driver.
time, a lot of people in Ubers and Lyfts like that they end up in situations like they end up in a car with a pedophile or somebody that puts
Sex
them in a
trafficking is real.
situation. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's a crazy
And it's
situation.
scary.
But that's where we at right now. This is where y'all. Can I blame it on y'all? I want to blame stuff on y'all. I'll tell you the truth.
Definitely.
That's what I'm here to do.
Y'all.
It's definitely
I'm here to
generational.
blame stuff on y'all. If y'all didn't catch that in the first episode, I'm here to blame stuff on y'all. I feel like the growth and the changes that's happening in the world is a reflection of what the new generation wants. My generation is still a part of some of that, but I think the way y'all coming up now and the things that y'all want so fast and what to happen is causing the innovation of these new things that's throwing out certain cautions that we had back in the day. You know, so yeah, it's kind of y'all fault, but not you personally. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on
Do y'all know what generation we are? Do y'all know what generation we are?
Zeta.
Generation Z.
Yeah,
It's definitely all Generation Z fault.
Definitely don't know what that means.
Generation
This
X,
is the
Generation
millennium
Y,
generation
and
right
then you
here.
had Generation Z.
You
That's
don't know
y'all.
about the different generations?
What generation am I?
Your
Z,
generation
fool?
don't matter right now.
You still part of Generation Z, or is there a new one out? I don't even know. I haven't.
There's
kept
another
up
one
with
for
it in a
his
while.
age.
For real? That is crazy. I don't know. I thought Z was it, and it was gonna be the end of the world, but
Not the end of
that's
the
just
world.
me. I don't know.
About all of that.
Yeah,
The
what?
generation stuff. I don't know about any of that either. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't know, but
I believe it goes every 15 years or so.
probably so. I heard that before. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So we got to be careful out here, man. People is getting locked up and hurt and all that stuff. But let's move on to something a little more level. I heard a story. I just want to get y'all opinion on it. You know, this is a new generation. Y'all got new thoughts. Y'all Z, Zeta, Y, X, whatever y'all is. I heard about the girl. She got drafted. No, she got a scholarship, a football scholarship. A female got a football scholarship to play at a college on the males team.
No.
What y'all think about it?
I've looked into this entire story. I've seen her film. I've seen everything. So the entire story is she got drafted to the first D1 college school for male athletes to play football.
And what is D1? Come explain that.
D1 is like, okay, so like pretty much that's the best tier players.
The
right?
dogs.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, dogs
so
on the
like,
field,
yeah,
okay.
those are like the best players. You got D1, D2, D3, JUCO, and then you got NAIA. NAIA is like you couldn't really make it. You weren't that good, but you still want to play football. That's kind of what. And then it just keeps going back up until D1, which is like the best players in the country. So she went to a D1 school. It's like a lower tier D1 though. It's not. You're not going to see her on
Do you
TV.
know which
or
college it
anything.
is?
No, I'm sorry, I don't know, but I know she went D1. She plays safety, which isn't as much contact as say if she played runner back or played a lineman position, if you know what that is,
Right.
which is just contact every single second. But as safety, I've seen her play, and I can tell you this is not me being biased. I've played football, so I've watched a lot of film in my time, and I watched her play, and all I can say is a lot of people have been saying it seems like a publicity stunt. Why? Because she's only played 1 year of football. So up to high school she was playing football, and then in college she got hurt. Her I'm pretty sure her 2017 season she got hurt, so she didn't play. Her 2018 season she had 3 tackles. That's it. And then she went D1. That's why people have been
What
saying.
you mean her senior year? She had she got hurt senior year. Or,
No.
or-
So she went through high school, right?
Right.
Then she went to a JUCO college. She went to a JUCO college to play football.
Okay.
She went there.
Oh, so she got a scholarship from the JUCO.
Yeah, she went. She
go
got a
JUCO.
scholarship to a JUCO college, which is fine. Her first season there, she gets injured, doesn't play the entire season. Second season, she comes back. She makes 3 tackles at the safety position.
Can you compare another safety to her?
That's D1. No, I'm sorry, I don't know all the college DBs and safeties like that. But looking at from her film, she's and I mean looking at her size too. We're comparing it to other size. She's 5'6", 135 pounds. Yeah, and the average weight for like a college football player is about 235 to 250.
Yeah.
So
So you're saying like it doesn't make sense that she's even on the team?
yeah, it's like
So you don't
it
think
doesn't
she
seem
deserved
right.
it?
She's it's like it's other people that's been working harder than her, and it's
Yeah.
like has done more. It's like
just give it to her.
someone had to have more than 3 tackles.
Yeah.
Someone. So and this
Is she
is not
African
this is
American?
not getting on. Yeah, she's black. She's black.
Ooh,
and
you
it's
think
like
she has money?
and
So
she's
we
not.
hating on black people now?
That's what we doing. No.
I don't know.
Like,
What are we doing?
Looking
Sound
at
like
her,
it.
and I know a lot of people say you would seem she'd be like really butch or strong. She's really not that. She looks like out of her past she looks like a regular girl. Like yeah, she looks really. She look kind of bad. No cap.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Though.
no cap.
All right, so we you trying to find out? I asked this question about the girl because I think we were talking about whether men and women can do the same things.
Are they equal?
Are they equal? And I wanted to know the female's perspective. So how do you feel as a young woman about men and women doing the same things,
Getting drafted
or this
tomorrow.
girl situation where her being drafted to the
And just so y'all know,
or
the goal
getting
for her
scholarship.
is the NFL, which, in my opinion, I don't think is realistic for her.
Yeah,
I don't.
honestly,
I don't.
For me, it really just depends on the category. Like for instance, like work, sports, food. Like I think it's all different, honestly. But I'm gonna say I do not believe men and women can equally do the same thing. Like
Do women
that's just
belong
my.
in the military?
Say that again.
Do women belong in the military?
I'm not. I don't. I think yes. Actually, I think military. I think there are women that are strong enough and very much capable to be in the military. But also, the military has multiple positions, jobs, like so many different things that they can do.
Right,
So
right.
yes, I do believe women can be in the military, and I do believe women can play sports. As for football, though, and you're 135 pounds, like that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it just depends on the category for me specifically.
I agree with that. I think I don't want to try and downplay women or to make it seem like, that women are just so far and below men. But I think a lot of people have to accept that you were created differently and everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. And as far as physical activities, I always think men are going to, in some aspect, dominate women in that category. For the simple fact that you're just not made the same. I mean, there's things that I also believe there's things that women can do that men can't do as well. So it's not just saying that,
Can
women
you name
can't.
3 things?
I'm sorry?
Can you name 3 things?
Who trying to put people on the
Us
spot,
men.
though?
Can you name
Name
3
3
things that
things.
us men can't do that y'all can do?
You can't give birth.
Okay.
Okay.
So if there wasn't a woman, you wouldn't be here. You can tell a
Facts.
man
Facts,
to
though.
bring you into the world. I mean, that's just first and
all
foremost.
right.
That's one. That's
Okay.
one.
So you want to put her on the spot.
Right. That's just first and foremost. But as I was saying before, I think in today's day and age, it kind of gets a little bit frustrating, even me being a woman, that it's like it's almost forced down your throat to accept so many things. And it's like it's a new day and age, and people have different mindsets and things like that, but some things just don't change. Like if a woman was to play in the NFL and everyone's like, oh yeah, she can do it, she can hang with them, why not, why can't she do it, okay, and then she gets tackled by this 275 pound man, and she's 130 pounds, he breaks her ribs, sends her to the hospital, then everyone's going to be bashing him. Everyone's going to be, oh, you didn't have to, come at her that hard. She's still a woman at the end of the day. So I think if some people want to hold that standard, then be fair on all parts.
Yeah.
Don't pick and choose when you think it's okay for them to be equal and when he should take it easy, she should take it easy. Like, it just has to be a fair
So
ground.
y'all not feminists.
Feminist? What is your definition of being a feminist?
What's your definition of being a feminist? I think feminism. I think it's a cool concept. I'm not going to downplay it. Cool concept. I think it is a viable movement that people are trying to do for the right reasons, as long as it's within reason. That's what I think about feminism. There's people that just take it out too far. But yeah, I was just playing. I don't know if y'all feminists or not, but I don't think she belongs there, man. And I'm not a feminist, but I believe women can do a lot. But I also understand the limitations and the differences between men and women, and I don't think it's nothing wrong with that.
But it stops at football, though.
It does. Oh,
It really don't, because there's like bodybuilder women who could probably be in the NFL.
See-
They're just not there.
okay,
That's
okay,
true.
yeah.
That is true.
That's exactly how I feel.
But why aren't they trying out for football, though?
That's their choice.
Exactly.
But when that, because I know there's some women out here who can go toe to toe with every dude out there on the field.
That
and
is
she
true.
just ain't
That's
got there yet.
Every dude.
Just
I'm
about.
sure
There's a lot of
about that.
bodybuilders out
I'm
there.
just saying.
I mean,
in
She
general.
can hold her weight,
She can
basically.
hold her
But
weight.
you got to
She
think
can
about
hold
it.
her own.
Okay, all right. Because I feel what you're saying, and that's what my whole stance was. I don't think this. You don't want to run around and say, "Hey, women can't play football." Period. No, I don't believe that. The right woman can play football, but that right woman ain't her.
Exactly.
I don't think so, because no matter who you are, if it was a 5'6",
She 5'6", 135.
it was a 5'6", 135-pound man playing
in the NFL.
In the NFL,
He's not.
he's
making
not
it.
going to start. He's not going to make the. He's not going to make the team. He's talking about starting. He's not
ever
even going to
gonna
be
get
out there.
in the NFL. We got to
That's
keep
like a
people to
coach.
the
And
same
And that goes
level.
back to my point of this generation and people in this time trying to force it down.
Right. It shouldn't be forced. If it was a 6-foot girl, 220, swole, super fast, put her out there. Let's see what she got. I don't have a problem with that. But you putting somebody in a situation to get hurt because the natural differences between the men she's gonna be on the field with, she's gonna get smacked up, bro.
But I
She's
feel
gonna
like
get smacked up.
I feel like
man.
they did that to put their school on the map and like put them on TV.
It's definitely a political thing about. I mean, not political, but it's a money thing. It's a publicity grab. It's a whole bunch of that going on because schools ain't doing nothing but really stealing.
It
people's
might
money
be
anyway.
because what if they just keep her on the bench and they give her those 2 minutes
Right.
in the fourth quarter?
The game that they play on TV, whatever game that is, they might start her just to get the ratings up, and then they're gonna bench her because I mean. There's not a coach that's going to be like, hey, that's my star. She's going to be there and stop the 247-pound running back that makes it past the second level. They don't have no faith in her. And coaches is trying to win because that's a part of they got to be winning to keep their job. So they're not going to put her out there. They're going to fight about putting her out there for that first minute for that publicity. But then after that, they're going to take her out because they need to win to keep their job. Right. It's all a business. It's all about money. Colleges, a lot of colleges, most of it is about money, especially collegiate sports. So I don't feel like they can't play, but you got to be right. Don't come up here. Don't act like
Do you
that
think
ain't enough.
some people are gonna come at her with anger
Yeah, there's gonna be a
Like-
lot of hating people. You got a lot of
on the field?
I don't even know.
Do you know how many people
Yeah.
try and make it just to
Yeah.
college football?
Definitely. Because people are just gonna look at her and seem like it was just like I don't feel like you belong here. Like
Exactly. You
don't
people are
work
just
for
gonna
it.
gun for her. It's just gonna look at her and just I don't feel like you should be here.
And
And
people
I'm
talk
going
so
to
much
hit
smack
you
on
as
the
hard as
field.
I can.
Yeah, yo, see,
Wait,
the
men will
smack
do
talk
that?
would be different.
Yes, men in football,
Men talk
they are
smack on
savages.
football.
They are, bro. To play football, you have to be a tad bit insane.
And but this is what I don't
true.
understand though. Like as far as like women, I just don't get why you have to even put yourself in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like to try to be like, I can be on the team and stuff like that. Like if they don't have a women's football team, then look, you
Which
can't
they do, though.
it. Like,
But I'm not
you
even.
can't do it.
I'm not the type of person to tell somebody they can't want to do something. You can want to do whatever you want. You can work as hard at your goals as you want. I encourage that for any and everybody. But there is a point when something becomes unrealistic, and you got to be able
Yeah.
to
Why
recognize
does there
that
have to be a
and do
competition?
something else.
Exactly.
Why
Like why
can't
is
there
it
be? This is the best man in the football league, and this is the best woman in the women
I'm
football
all
league.
for a women's football league. I'm
So
down
I mean,
for-
I'm
I'll
the
watch
best
it
woman
if
playing
they
football.
got to be
That's the
good.
best man playing football. But why do we have to
head to
automatically
head?
go against each
Exactly.
other to prove a point?
Exactly.
I think that's a woman thing.
I think so too.
don't have
because-
to blame
blame that on the
I
women.
think that's a
No, no,
human
no,
thing.
but for real.
I think it's a
It's
human
partly a
instinct
human
to
thing.
want to be the best.
It's partly a woman thing, but it's a lot of women who like I can do as good a job as a man. You don't hear men running around saying I can do as good as a job as a woman. When the last time you heard a man say that? But you hear
They gonna get their
women,
man card
I can
taken.
do the same
Men
thing
already
you
have
do.
the
Yada,
concept
yada,
that they're better than women.
Exactly. So it's not the men that's bringing this competition, is what I'm saying. It's the women who want to disprove that and change this train of thought that's been happening since we evolved into something else. And it's like, yo, we evolved that way for a reason. It's been that way for a reason because men and women are built differently.
I think
Which
they
is
really
different.
want equality. I think those type of women really want
Which
equality.
is fine to want equality, but at the same time, I want equality. I don't want, a woman to get a job because she's pretty, because you guys have advantages we don't have. Period.
Facts.
Always gonna have them. Always. If me and my wife go to get the same job right now, same job. If it's something where they need a pretty face, I'm not getting the job. Period. They're gonna get that woman. If this is a job that has to go talk to other men and make them happy, they're gonna give the woman a job. And this goes into the job force where they're saying that women are paid less than men and stuff like that. It depends on what the job is, okay? Because on a higher level, there is where they're paying people less, women and things like that in different positions. But on this thing, when it's something that they want to do, where they need someone who's going to service or a company or some kind of way or be a representative, most of the time, the pretty woman is going to get the job before the dude is going to get the job, regardless of the credentials. Because a pretty face sells faster than a dude who talks a lot.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting equality, but there's more important things to want to be equal in than just physical capability.
Right.
Equality and getting paid the same and, all of those other things, just than saying, I'm stronger than you. So, just pick and choose.
But at the same time, like, I don't think, because you were saying, like, women has advantages. I mean, and that could be true. Like, and I actually think it is true. But that doesn't mean, like, we're not, capable of doing, certain jobs and stuff, or we're just getting the job, because we're pretty and stuff like that. Like, I definitely think, women still.
That's true too. I see what you're saying. There is that line of where women get put in a position. I just did it, and now I'm recognizing it. Where you're discrediting all of her credentials and saying she only got it because she's pretty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you encompass the entire situation that's going on? Two people with the same credentials. The company needed a face more than they needed these credentials, or maybe the case. I don't know. So the woman is there because of her credentials. She got over the top, possibly because of her face. I don't want to say that's why it would happen, but when it happens over and over again to a dude, that's what the dude sees. You know what I'm saying? And so both sides is a reality. Both sides is the woman feels like she got there because of that. The man feels like he didn't get it because of her looks. Are both of those things true? Can they be both? Two things can be true at the same time. I want y'all to know that. That is a fact. Never forget that. Because people always try to make one thing fact and the other thing false. Yeah. Sometimes two things are true at the same time.
And they are. I think that's, at that point, I think you just got to say, and that's just society. That's just how society works.
Right. It's a lot of little ins and outs of society that you can't necessarily fix. I don't have the answers. I ain't got the answers. Y'all got the answers? Y'all the new generation. Y'all supposed to be changing the world.
I would hire the girl.
Why?
For business.
Hey, man, if you think about the business, you think about the business.
All right. But that's what I can't do with you, man. All right. Anybody else gonna say something about men and women being equal? Any of y'all want to play football? No?
Nah.
You good?
I'm good.
You good? All right, that's what's up.
I'll be in the hospital.
All right. Oh, man. But another topic I wanted to talk about, which I think is going to heavily affect every single person at this table. Outside of Naya, I remember when all of y'all were babies, or at least toddlers, young, very little people. Now y'all big. I guess you would call, legally, technically, by the law, you're an adult, right? You're an adult. I feel like we talked about this
Everyone
last time.
at
We
this
did.
table
We
is
did.
an adult.
Because
You guys
y'all
love bringing
really
this
don't
situation
understand.
up.
I don't think they do.
We are grown.
It's a serious topic.
Everyone at this table is an adult,
Like,
except for
it's
one person.
definitely serious.
Okay. All right. So, I mean,
It
I
has
don't
to
really
be understood.
You know what? You know what it is? We talking about kids. I'm somebody's child.
We are all somebody's child.
Right.
Yes, we can agree with that.
I just turned 37, and I am someone's child. I am also an adult, a grown man. Right?
And there's 3 other grown men at this table too.
Okay, the word grown. Let's define that.
But you know what? I'm like, I feel like people think, we're saying this to like, try to prove a point, try to prove that we're grown. But it's like, I don't even feel like I'm doing that. Like, I'm just like, I'm grown at the end of the day, period. Because, like, just, the things that I'm doing as I get older. Getting my own job, trying to pay my own bills, trying to be more responsible. Like, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's a process.
And to be an adult, how can we do that if you guys are keeping us in this shell?
Exactly.
That we're children.
That we're a child.
Although we're in
Labeling us
the
as-
process of
if you don't think
becoming.
about it, I'm sorry. If you don't think about it, which going back to neglecting the youth as parents without thinking about it nonchalantly, y'all don't realize labels stick to kids.
They do.
Regardless of how old we are.
Oh, yeah.
Labels stick.
Do we have to have a child to be considered an adult?
Absolutely not.
No.
That's not a prerequisite of adulthood.
But that's what you just said.
That's not what I
You
said.
said you're an adult, you're a kid, and an adult.
No. He said he was someone's child.
And I'm
Yeah.
also an adult.
Exactly.
Okay, going back to what Uncle Walkman just said. He said, "What'd you just say?"
I didn't say anything.
No, say exactly what you just said.
I said I'm someone's child,
You're someone's child,
but I'm also an adult.
but you're also an adult
And a grown man.
Okay, so listen, this is my thing on that. As we are young adults, we have to understand it's different situations where we should be asserting our adultness, and that's something that people don't understand. It's a certain time to assert your adultness, and it's a certain time to understand that you're still a child at the end of the day. Even Uncle Achmed, who is 37, he still has to do that because he still has a mom that he is a child to. So
That makes sense.
That's deep.
But
That's
the
real.
thing
That's
that
real.
I think kind of conflicts with each other is I think a lot of older adults think that when younger adults say that they are adults and they want to be, treated as such in certain aspects, they take it as a form of disrespect. Nobody is disrespecting you by saying I'm an adult as well. We're just saying, can we have some type of respect on that level? We're not saying
Exactly.
that right. Me being
And
an adult is
adults-
belittling your position.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's not the case
Right.
whatsoever.
I like that.
That's
I
not the
like
case
that.
whatsoever.
I like it. Bring it. Okay. So the respect factor, right? Because you say you're not saying that you're an adult in a disrespectful way. You just want your respect.
Right.
But consequently, more than likely, the times when you want to address the fact that you're an adult is when you're trying to disagree with the adult telling you that this is the time that you are a child and you don't make those decisions.
Not
That's
necessarily.
not all the
Not
time.
necessarily.
That's not all the time.
Most of the time it is. I mean, from my experience, you may have a different experience. Tell me a situation where somebody was just trying to make you a child when it was unnecessary.
The
or something
situation
like
that just happened at dinner.
Honestly.
With the wings.
I have to still agree with
All right,
that.
all
I
right,
have to still
all right.
agree with
some
that.
wings.
Look, we clipping.
That was a petty situation.
Was it a petty situation? Here's the reality, okay? I'm going to tell you about it. Of course, I was there. I didn't say nothing. What did I say? I said, technically, you're an adult. That was the only words I spoke during this whole little debacle, right?
And it was true.
It's true. It's a fact. But the reality is the adults in the room who paid for the food decided how this food was going to be fed to the people in the house that they were supplying it for because it was our responsibility. Now, mind you, I know because I know what you're about to say. You could have paid for it. Anybody could have paid for it.
Period. As long as you know.
Right. It's a fact. It's a fact. You could have done that. You could have done that. But if you had to do it, if it was your responsibility to do it, if it was on your shoulders to provide for everyone in this house, then is when you would be that adult in that situation. Being that it's not, it wasn't, nobody asked you for any money because it's not your responsibility. We weren't trying to put that on you. We were taking our responsibility as adults to feed everyone.
So
Then we as adults
So
also
my-
are going
because
to...
responsibility isn't shown out without asking, we're not adults.
No, I didn't say you weren't
Is that what
adult.
you're saying?
I
Or
didn't
because
say-
you don't
I
Or
wasn't
offer
how
saying
about
you're
this?
not
How about this? How about
anything.
this? The real question is, when do we get labeled as adults from our parents?
Right,
Do we
correct.
need to be
It's
25?
also
Do
a
we need
flip
to be 30?
scenario. Like you said, we only, younger adults only bring up that they're grown when they want to be disrespectful or, try to have an opposing opinion. Older adults do the same thing. When you say, oh, well, you're grown, so I don't have to take you here. You're grown, so I don't have to do this for you. I don't have to
Or
do that
parents
for
do
you.
it when
But
they're
any
upset
other
at their
time, I'm
child.
not grown. I'm a child, so I have to do what
But
you
you know
say
where
to the
that
T.
comes from? That comes from a response of y'all constantly saying, I'm grown, I can do what I want to do. And then when you realize how...
But it's
Because we
not
have
even
to
I can
fight
do
it.
what I want to
Because
do.
we have to
Every
fight
it's
you
not
guys.
even I can do
We
what
have
I
to
want
fight
to
you
do.
guys at what's going on.
Not at the same time. Let's bring it down. What I'm saying is, when that situation happens, it's normally after the child, the adolescent, who's becoming an adult or is an adult now, has repeatedly tried to overstep things that they should not have done just yet. Because the fact that you're 18 doesn't change everything in a snap. Regardless.
I agree.
Okay? It doesn't change everything in a snap. But we're going to have to be realistic about it. We talked about this last time, how you're not going to stop being supported by your parents when you turn 18, right? So, being that we're still supporting you, that means you're still a subordinate of ours.
Yeah,
in some sort of way.
I feel
right?
like I'm in the minority. Like, I'm 19 years old, but I still feel like I'm a kid in many aspects. So, like, I do take on, like, a couple of responsibilities. Like, I pay my own phone bill. I get my own way to school. I get my own way to work. I do all that. But, I mean, like, I don't pay the light bill. I don't pay the rent. My mom, my stepdad, they put food on the table. I don't do any of that. I don't have all those responsibilities. I feel like my mom, they're going to look at me as an adult when they can come to my apartment and bring housewarming gifts. And, they're going to feel like, oh, okay. Now, see, you got your nice apartment. You got a nice house. You're doing well. You got a nice job. Then they're going to look at you and say, all right, Nasim, you're an adult now. I feel like when I feel like I can help my mom with her bills and help her with mine, I feel like I'll be an adult. But right now, I know I'm a child.
Right.
Yeah, that's just how I feel. And I know I'm like in the minority right now.
I wouldn't say you have to call yourself a child. You're still an adult, but you still, I don't want to say bow down. That's not the word I'm looking for. But you still subject yourself to the leadership of your parents.
Back to what I just said earlier.
Which
You
Kyrie
have
was
to
on point.
Know when to assert your adultness and when to understand that you are
Okay,
still
so when do you
a
assert your
child.
adultness? Can you just give me two examples of when?
Okay, so
Because we're always in the house sometimes, so just give me two examples.
all right, so you still live with your mom, right?
Yep.
Are you helping her with any bills?
Insurance, yes.
Your insurance
Car insurance, yes.
for yourself.
Well, it's added to their car. It's
But
added to their insurance.
you're only paying the money for you, right?
Yes.
So you really not doing nothing. So you really don't have nothing to say about nothing in that house.
I
can't say
never said I don't
anything.
speak on anything. I don't speak on any choices that happen in the house.
Right.
I didn't
so
say I
then
did.
You don't have that. There is no opportunity there for you to assert your adultness because you're not taking care
That's
of
why I
anything
said,
but
give me
yourself.
two examples of when
The
to
only
assert your
thing that
adultness.
you have to assert your adultness over is over your car because that's what you own and pay for and work for.
I'm
That's
sorry, I
what
got to stop
do.
you right there. That's not true either.
What?
For me, it is.
Oh,
That's
For
my
you,
car.
it is. Yeah, I know. It's your car. But if she said, don't park this car by my house no more, on my property,
she'd be absolutely.
you would
in
have
the
to
right.
park down the street.
and you can't do nothing.
You wouldn't
about
be
it.
able to bring that car to the house. You
So
would have
that
to go
kinda-
find your own insurance. What you know what the biggest thing about this is? All the conversations we ever had about kids and adults. I'm gonna break it down to you why it continues to be this way and what y'all gonna learn. Because you all gonna learn this lesson as you become older, as you become adults, as you have your own children. You're gonna learn this lesson. When you support, raise, and provide for children for years on top of years on top of years, I don't want to call it debt. But there is a solidified position that you hold over that child. And it's going to be that way for a very long time. When you're 20, when you're 25, your parents will still hold this position over you, number one. Number two, until, like he said, you're paying your own, you got your own roof over your house, over your head, you're paying all your bills. The responsibility for survival is solely on you, and you are meeting that responsibility. You are still in need of your parents to help you through. So that's another thing that you owe them in a way, or you owe them your respect because of that. So asserting your adultness should be tapered very down when you know at the end of the day, you depend on them.
But here's my thing. Why does I feel like asserting adultness is like you guys are saying it in such a terrible way? Like asserting adultness is, for instance, disrespectful. And I don't think it's disrespectful
Like
at
you have to
all.
choose when to be an
Like,
adult, like turn it on and off.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
and
Exactly what I just said.
So let's talk about it then.
but
What I want to
I'm
say,
trying
what I
to
want to
figure
say
out
is,
Why?
like,
is the
it
whole.
doesn't. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's even when you're a young adult and you are in the process of, you know, becoming financially independent and being on your own and having your own home and things like that, it's still a process, but it doesn't mean that you should, you know, kind of pick and choose when you want to be treated as an adult, because everybody had to go through that process. You had to go through that process when you were with your parents of trying to become on your own and things like that. So it's like, I feel like sometimes parents forget that it's still a process, that we're not just going to wake up on our 18th birthday, have a house, a car, a degree, and everything like that. And because it's going to take time, who knows how many years. And even not just because you're 18, there's people that are in their 30s and 40s that are still in that process of becoming, you know, being on their own. But I think, are you defining being an adult by your age or, you know, by the things that you're doing?
You're defined as an adult by your age. When you turn 18, you're an adult. But being an adult and being a real adult is just different. It's hard to explain until you get there.
I think an adult is defined by the responsibility that you have. Because it's kids that's 7 years old that's taking care of their little sisters because they're orphans and they don't have nothing
But
else
they
to
still
do.
not
You
adults,
right.
though.
You right.
But they are, because
Like
they
they're holding
at
the
the end of the day.
responsibility.
and
Well,
and
they
the people
have-
that's under them is gonna look at them
Age is
like
just a
that's
number.
my mom or that's my auntie because they was taking care of me when I had nobody else. And back to what Uncle Achman has said about us being in debt to the people that was over us when we couldn't do anything to us. That's how I see it. That's exactly
Well,
what it is.
because that's true.
Gonna
We're always gonna
be
be
in
in
debt.
That's not a
okay.
lie.
So
That's
when
true.
you owe somebody something, then you do what they need you to do because you owe them. It doesn't matter
Bruh.
what they ask.
Okay,
for
don't
you
say
to
like
do.
that. 'cause
If
you're
you-
saying it
That's
like
how it
if
is.
you-
No, but that's how it. But
That's
that's
how it is.
exactly
Check it out.
how
Check it
it
out.
is.
If you
Not
owe your
even-
homeboy $500 and he asks you to help him move, you gonna help him or you gonna be like, nah?
I mean, I'm gonna help him because that's my homeboy, not because he owe me some money.
But you gonna
that's
be,
a whole
you
different
gonna
situation.
be more. No, you gonna be more likely to help him because you owe him money. You like
Not in
man,
my
I
head. That's
can't
just
tell
a
him
whole
no.
different situation.
I'm saying it influences your reaction. I think
It shouldn't
didn't
have to.
influence
Money
mine.
shouldn't be that powerful though. That's the crazy.
It's not just
It's
money.
not even
Debt
about
shouldn't be
money
that
though.
powerful.
It's
It's
not.
about
Debt is money though. Debt is money, is it not?
No.
Debt is.
It's not money.
You can owe.
But
you
y'all didn't use that
can-
word debt though. Debt
Okay,
means
debt
money,
does
though.
not mean money.
No.
You got that definition wrong.
You can owe somebody a
Debt
favor.
Yeah, exactly. You owe somebody a favor. Oh, I took you.
Okay,
to
so
the-
use a different word. You solid.
It's a debt.
It's a debt.
It's a debt.
When you owe a debt to society, you don't owe them money.
It's a debt. And like Uncle Ogden was saying, and I understand that now because I've been taking care of my baby sister, and she can't do. When you're taking care of somebody that can't do anything for themselves, it's
It's tedious. It's tiring. It's time
Not-
consuming.
that.
It's
But
life sucking.
Being a parent.
it's
It's being a parent, which is
they-
synonymous with all the other words I just
they
said.
can't do anything for themselves, and you're doing for them, and they're always going to be in debt to you for that, whether they like it or not. And that is
Exactly.
what
They
it is.
changed our diapers. We gonna
being
change their diapers.
A child is.
That's what's up.
You're gonna be in debt to your parents, and that's just how it was designed, so that you can do that for them.
You know, I think you missed the whole idea that there's a certain time, like he said, to be asserting your adulthood. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more about respect of the situation going on. And if you keep in mind the situation that is going on, you will always know when to be more respectful than more asserting the fact that you're grown. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's all I think it is. Because nobody wants to take away your adulthood. We want you to grow and flourish and become even better adults and, you know, have more business about yourself and get paid and do and take care of yourself. We want all y'all to be successful. But at the same time, in certain situations, assessing what's going on, you should be like, you know what, I'm cool. Like if you were able to provide for everybody in the house on a regular basis for the last 7 months that you've been here, and then that same situation with the wings come up, and somebody tell you you can't have no wings, I would have a problem. Like, yo,
But
I'm holding it down.
in that situation with the wings, I don't think it was a matter of who's an adult and who's not. I think it could have been translated as, okay, only the people who paid for the food, who paid for the wings, are eating the wings.
Yeah,
I paid
agree
for
with
these
that.
wings, so I'm the people who put in money for the wings. They're eating the wings. Not the adults can eat the wings and the kids can eat the pasta.
See, the funny thing is, I agree with you on that. But just because it wasn't communicated properly doesn't mean that the rebuttal and the reaction should have been what it was. Because of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I get it. It could have been communicated differently and that would have made more sense. But even if it wasn't, was that the hill to die on? Was that the one to stand on and plant your flag and say, I'm grown, what you talking about? I can't have it.
You still don't talk back to like your parents.
But you do.
Okay, so I have a question for the newly adults. So, because y'all like seem so
Newly
specific
adults. Who's
on
new? New?
the young adults, anyone
Okay,
that's
all
not
right.
25 over here.
All right.
So, because y'all solely specific on provisions and everything. But when it comes down to if you're talking to your mother or your father on a situation that they want you to do, or just a topic that you're discussing that they think that they're right or that they're trying to get you to do, but you disagree, is that where you lessen yourself and you have to listen to them, or is that when you're an adult?
Well,
at that
okay,
time?
first of all-
Speaking your mind
because
and
you
your
guys are
opinion.
saying that we need to respect our parents.
Right.
Well, wait. Do you disagree with that?
I feel that, which I do all the time with my mother, if she's wrong, I'm going to sit there and argue with her because I have my own mindset.
Well, and
I'm
that's-
not a child no more, which it's time to get her to understand.
Yep, and I think that's okay, but at the same time, like they were saying,
It's all in the
I
delivery.
feel like it's in the delivery.
No one is ever
Two-
disrespectful.
Two, it's in the delivery. Two, you have to pick and choose your battles, because if you're being asked to wash the dishes and you don't agree because you know what I'm saying, you just don't agree on the situation, then and now you're saying that you're grown, like that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to.
Or she told you to do the dishes, and you say, "Oh, I don't need to do the dishes because I'm paying
No,
the light bill."
no. Something realistic.
That is
I'll give you
realistic.
a scenario. Exactly. Y'all staying too much in the house. Get away from the house. You're on parole. You have to call your. You have to call your. What do they call it?
Your
Parole officer?
You have to call your PO. You have to call them weekly every Wednesday. And you know that you can do it because you have a cell phone. You're old enough to call them when you know you have to. But your mother's telling you, go, no, call them right now. Call them right now before you forget.
You listen to her.
Nah.
And you
That's a
tell her,
different-
I got it. I can do it. I'll do it later.
Because at that point now, I feel like, okay, now you're badgering me like I'm
My
5. You know
capabilities.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I don't have, like I'm not capable, and
Exactly.
that's the part that I feel like I don't even know what to call. Are y'all
It's
older
that responsibility,
adults or what?
right.
I don't know. But the other adults,
other
they
half.
don't understand that we're very much capable of doing the things that you need us to do.
Right.
But you like badgering me like I'm, 5 years old, as in I don't know how to take care of my responsibility. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
You
your
see what I'm
responsibility. So why are you badgering me about?
And if
I'm
you
trying
don't
to say, are we
allow
adults at that point?
you and I think a lot of times the parents want to push them to do some things, but then you don't even allow your child to have the opportunity to do that. If you're telling me that I need to take care of my responsibility, I'm responsible for this, I'm responsible for calling my PO at this time on this day, how am I supposed to, be able to do that if you're constantly telling me, no, actually
Exactly.
do it right now,
Or
do it on
reminding
my
you of your own
time.
responsibility.
Exactly.
When you know you
So
need
when
to
they
do
get
it.
out on their own, then it's like you've held their hand through the whole thing. You didn't even give them
Right.
a chance to become an adult.
And that's
Exactly.
what I
This is
mean
what I'm
by
trying to get
pick
y'all
your
to
battles.
understand.
That because I would argue that down because I'm like, I can do this on my own. That's what
And
I
if
mean
I
by
don't,
pick your
I
battles.
handle the
Exactly. This has
consequence.
nothing to do with
So,
disrespecting
yeah.
Okay,
parents.
okay.
It has to do with that right
So
there.
here's the thing: on a situation like that, or these situations where a parent is not letting go and trying to be overbearingly monitor your every move, right? There is a skill to parenting older kids that every parent doesn't have. So I'm not saying that they're exactly wrong, but there are other approaches and different ways that you deal with children at certain ages. And at a certain age, you loosen up the reins and stuff like that. But in certain situations, based on the gravity of it or based on the current, whatever the situation is, some parents do make a call in order to enforce more that they normally wouldn't do, enforce more pressure on you about something they need done that you're responsible over, because at the end of the day, they're responsible over it.
But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. It doesn't lie
But
on
did you
them,
hear
though.
what I
It
just
lies
said?
on yourself.
Did you hear what I
though.
just said?
I did.
At the end of the day, your responsibility that they're trying to push on you that you feel like you can handle on your own, it's your responsibility, it's your life. The reason we're pushing it is because at the end of the day, it also is our responsibility that what happens to you, what your outcome is over this situation, how this unfolds affects us in a lot of ways that you don't understand or will see. Like what we're going to have to do if you do mess this up. What else do I have to do now? So instead of we trying to head that off at the pass because you might not understand the gravity of the situation or you might not really see how serious it is that this gets done in this way. So I'm trying to make sure it happened because I know what's going to happen after that. And I know when that happens, that's when I'm stepping in and I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do that. And I have to sacrifice this and I have to sacrifice this and sacrifice that. If you would have just did what I asked you to do when I asked you to, we wouldn't be here.
But that needs to be explained. See, adults love to just say stuff and not explain anything.
That's true.
If you're talking to another adult, if you're talking to another young adult, whatever you want to call, that needs to be, and that's a part of
respect.
Not respect, but raising your child differently when they get to a different age. Those things need to be explained to young adults. Why? Because you're just telling me what. And I'm fine with you telling me what to do. Why? Because you're my parent. But you're telling me I need to call my parole officer at this time. Why though? Like why at your pace? Why at your time? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
because
like,
I said so.
Because I said so. You know, like that.
Because I
needs to be
said
explained.
so is a very, very underrated statement, and it's gonna become one of your favorite statements as you get older. I'm gonna just let y'all know. Okay, it's gonna be
Who to say? For us to say?
Yeah.
Look,
Oh, you gonna say it a lot?
I really understand the because I say so, because we as children don't understand the position that these people that have taken care of us since when we couldn't do anything for ourselves.
I understand what you're saying. We are almost there.
No, you're not.
No,
You
when
don't
I
have-
say that, you understand what I'm
What are you
saying.
talking
If you
about?
have a kid in the next 5 years, you're going to be in that position.
Right.
Okay,
And
I
I'm
understand
gonna
what you're
want
saying.
that. You saying you don't like people saying, because I said so. When you want to say, because I said so, and these people are saying why, and they don't understand, because I said so, is because you haven't done your part as a parent and made them understand that you are the parent.
So you have to.
And- Huh?
Yes.
I
I was
want
going to say you have to become a parent to understand because I said so.
Yeah.
You don't
To
have
not get
to
an explanation no more.
Like I understand it now because I've been reading and I've really understood it from an Islamic point of view. That's how I've understood it because of the way Islam has explained parenthood and the people that is in that position, especially our mother and our father. And
I do too. I understand it.
then you would understand that anything that your mom say gets done, and it really don't need to be no questions asked at all. If you really understood that, if it's nothing that is gonna harm you or anybody else, there is no questions. Mommy said this, is done. You don't say nothing. You move.
So move.
Ooh.
so move, right?
Don't do that.
Drops
He's
mic.
solid now. Okay.
Well, look.
Solid
I
now.
don't-
Okay, but what about in this situation? Even though it is your parent, in this situation, maybe you can, understand or not. You are grown. I understand that that's your parent and what they say go. But at some point in becoming an adult, when you are older, you have your own family, you're under your own roof, and then you have someone who's older than you and come into, your area and was like, okay, well, I don't like the way you're doing this, so we're going to change it and you're going to do this. And then are you still at a point where you're asking your mom or your dad, well, why do I have to do it? I'm in my own space, I'm doing my own thing, and it's nothing that's harming you. But because they're still your mom or your dad, regardless of your age, regardless of the situation, if your mom tells you to do something or that you need to change something, that you're always going to say, okay.
No, I don't. Definitely not.
Thank
That's the
you.
thing. Okay, at that point,
What point is that?
the point where you are self-sustaining, and I don't think y'all understand the full scope of self-sustaining. That means when you get a flat tire, you don't call nobody. That means if something happened and your homeboy got messed up and you got in a car accident, you get your own rental car, you go through your own insurance, you pay for this. You don't need you don't need nobody coming to pick you up. You don't need anything from your parents to sustain. Not saying you don't need anything from anybody, but you got your own homeboys, you got your own network, you got your own people. You're sustaining yourself, and you don't bring any more, not burden, but you don't bring any more situations to your parents to be fixed, and you sustain yourself in your own space, then that's all you. That's all you. That's the point. But young people start to think as soon as they turn 18 that all of that is already in the works, and it's not. Like you said, it takes time. During that time where you're calling yourself an adult, there really needs to be a second stage, which it is. It's called young adults. That's what you guys are. You're not adults. You're young adults. That's different than an adult. Okay? An adult, self-sustaining, has everything on their own. If something happened to me, I'm not calling them. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to work it out, and I'm going to handle my business. I'm not calling my mama. I'm not calling her. I'm going to handle my business, make sure everything is, no matter what happens. I'm talking about catastrophe, somebody in the hospital, all of that. I'm not calling her for help. I'm a grown. I'm a man. Everything is on my shoulders, my whole family. Okay? In trying to get y'all to wrap your head around everything in your life being on your shoulders to take care of, once you get that, first understand it, and then actually are able to execute that, that's when the full adulthood christening happening.
But just because it's not so much right now, just because we have the little bit of things that we do have on our shoulders, if we're managing those things, we deserve that title.
Young adults.
Right, at all times.
Yeah, you're a young adult.
And I don't even
Why are you saying no?
I don't think it's
Why are you saying
necessarily
no?
about like a title though. Like I just think it's okay, we deserve some respect.
Now, let's talk about respect then. Let's talk about respect, because that's true. That is very true. Go ahead.
Everything's a cycle. So this breeds that and that breeds that. So the way everybody wants to be treated and respected and all of these things, if your parent was raising you in that way, inshallah, it's going to happen that way, because people, it's a cycle that gets passed down. Things get passed down and it goes down in a way. So if your parents understand what you went through as a child, they would understand how you want to be treated at this stage in that life, because they were at that stage at one point. So the way everybody is seeing how disrespect and parent thing is going, I think it's more of, you should be looking at it as, how would you want your young adult treating you when you have that young adult?
That's true.
Do you understand what that actually means? Like, can you look that far into the future and understand where your mindset is going to be at and where their mindset is going to be at, and how you're going to want them to understand y'all relationship and situation?
Bro, I'm telling you, that's true. That's true, and that's a part of the respect thing. When you can see that, the respect kind of changes. You know what I'm saying? The respect changes a little bit. Like, you can imagine, I don't know. I hate comparing children to animals, but I do it all the time. I apologize, but it's the best analogies that I can put out there. Okay, like if your cat, you feed this cat, you buy food for this cat. When this cat gets sick, you take care of it. You got to get up and basically you're at its beck and call to make sure that whatever it needs is taken care of. That's how you are with that cat, right? And then one day when you tell that cat, get your butt in that room, it scratch you in the face and run and turn around and run. How angry are you going to be at that point? On a level of
Very
1 to 10?
angry. We've been there.
And then
Get
you
a
go,
neuter.
and then you
Multiple
go,
times.
and then you go grab the cat. And I told you, get your butt in this damn room, and it scratch you again and run off. You are gonna want to throw that cat in the garbage,
Agreed.
but you can't, because it's a cat. It's your cat. You have to deal with it. When you go through that for years upon years upon years with your child, the respect that you want from this child is not so much you can't take too much disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So when I say I want to talk about respect, y'all don't understand the type of respect that the parent deserves, because you don't fully understand everything that the parent has done up to this point for you. So you don't fully understand how much respect they do deserve. So that's why when you're trying to assert and people are saying, is that disrespectful to just assert me being an adult? It's not disrespectful that you want to be an adult. It's disrespectful that you're trying to demand something from someone where you haven't necessarily earned it yet. Like, what have you done to put yourself there to say, I deserve this type of respect from everybody else?
But why
But
does
that
it have
doesn't
to
mean
be demanding though? Like,
because it comes off demanding when you feel like you're not getting it and you need to speak on it. It's something that's earned. Respect is earned. The reason you respect your parents is because you know they fed you for years, because they clothed you for years, because they took you everywhere you needed to go. You think you just came out of the womb respecting people? No, it was earned through service to you. Your parents have been servicing you for year after year after year after year. We earned that respect that I'm asking of you to do. You know what I'm saying? And now you turn 18 and you're like, where's my respect? What did you earn? What have you done? Who have you taken care of?
I agree, but I also feel like not in all situations with all parents, but in a good amount of situations, it's also like the parent, although you can never fully repay your parent for the things that they've done, even when they get to old age and you take care of them and all of those things. But it's also like in some situations, the parent just solely holds that over the child's head forever. Like, oh, well,
That's
I
true.
did this for you and I did this for you and I took care of you and I put these clothes on your back. But at the same time, you made that decision to be a parent when you decided to have a kid, and that comes with the responsibility of being a parent.
Well, they could have decided to throw you in the trash.
They could have,
Because it happens.
But
I'm
even
just
though
saying,
you
it's-
didn't, is it
I did it.
necessary
I did it.
to hold it over your child's head for
It's
the rest
not.
of their life?
It's definitely not. And I do understand what y'all saying. And I'm from the school of trying to respect the child in a manner that allows them to feel like they're moving into
And
adulthood.
I feel like
I
it
do
should
understand
be,
that.
I feel like it should be understood by our own parents because, yes, they're not angels themselves. Y'all were in our shoes,
Right.
So y'all were there. So that's why I don't understand. So when you say that that picture of my own child on being 18 or whatever, yes, I can picture that. I can picture myself right now. Yes, I'm living that right now, and I've already pictured myself as a parent and how. Yes, we think about it all the time on our parental values of how we're going to teach our child. So I know how I'm going to teach my child. I'm not going to be afraid to call him an adult at 18. He's earned that.
Did he?
How?
How?
You just said technically at 18 you turn an adult.
Technically. That don't mean you
Technically.
earned it. That's the definition.
That's the
You're an adult when you're
society.
18. That's just a definition in the book.
USA,
That was made
bro.
by whoever made the dictionary. I don't even
Y'all
know
missing
that.
my
That's-
fight. That's what
no,
I'm fighting.
no.
That's my argument. Is
Bro,
the title. I
okay,
wasn't
but
talking about
listen.
society and everything else that you're
But
talking
that's
about.
where
I
the
understood
title
that.
came from. That's what you're not understanding.
No, he just
The
gave us our
USA
title of young adult. Before
Yes,
that
but
was just
that
taken.
title came from the USA. They made that up. When was there
No, what are
ever
you talking-
this? No,
There's an
look,
adult in every. What do you mean?
That's
just
what
the
I'm
U.S.
saying.
Just the whole world. And in the whole world
Jewish
is different
people- okay.
ages at that time.
That's what
Even
I'm
that.
saying. So there really is. That's why there is no age when. That's why I said.
Well, no,
adulthood is
don't
not
say that because in
defined-
other countries there is an age limit of when they
Okay,
are
but
grown and
are
adults.
they actually an adult?
Well,
and
to that
grown?
tribe
That's
they
what
are,
I'm
or that
saying,
country they
Hamza.
are.
Technically.
But you can't
Technically,
go
right. We're still on
by the book for
technicalities.
everything.
Exactly.
I'm not
you
saying you
can't
do
go
have to.
by technicalities about everything. It's about real life. Is this person an adult that can take care of themselves? No.
That's true. That's true. Listen, guys, I love all y'all, okay? And I think all of y'all are adults except for Jaden. I think you all are young because you're 16, okay?
Yeah.
Relax.
Alright.
Relax. Okay. I think all of y'all are young adults and respectful. And we could talk about this forever. I just hope that y'all get a little bit out of this to understand the full encompassing position of parents, but also that parents understand respect is something that you have to earn, but you also, in raising your child, giving them respect helps them grow. I do understand that side of it. I don't want that to be lost on anybody. But anyway, man, that was it. We always get together and have these conversations that wind up in the same situation. Kids don't want to be kids no more. But anyway, we'll talk about that next time. I'm going to say peace out. Y'all got anything y'all want to say? We're going to talk on another date. Anybody? Last
Yeah.
See you
comment?
guys in the next
Bye.
podcast.
On the next podcast with Young Kids Gone Grown. Anyway, all right. It's your boy Fortunate. I'm going to holler at y'all. Uncle Ock signing out. Peace.
No rap cap.
No rap cap. I don't even know what rap cap is.